where do we begin?
Well, I'm admit I didn't watch the
Well,
pre-show, so yeah.
we can start. We can start with the blockbuster. I don't even know if it's considered a blockbuster at this point, but the signing of Big Show to AEW tonight, and it'll be made official on this
Must have missed
episode
that.
coming up. Yes. I just happened to do some Instagram research, and turns out he's going to be doing commentary for a new show that's coming on their YouTube channel. I'm not sure when they're going to be launching that, but it'll be rivaling Monday Night Raw.
Interesting.
So AEW winning the internet ratings while battling the TV ratings. So Cody Rhodes, you stole another one, brother.
He didn't steal Big Show. WWE wouldn't give him a good deal. His contract expired in January.
Yeah. So I wouldn't call it stealing either. He probably felt that it was just time to go.
Yeah, and he kept saying, "Look,
Yeah, I mean, a way to go out.
decent contract, and I'll sign." And Vince wouldn't give him what the man was owed. So the man was like,
Hold on. There's some little. Your audio is a little bit low. I can't quite hear you on.
"Okay, that's great." I have tools for that too. Watch this. Can you hear me now?
A little bit better.
But yeah, what I was saying is that his contract expired in January, and he told Vince, "Yo, we got to do better with this offer. You trying to lowball me?" And Vince wouldn't do it, so Show left. He did his 90-day no compete, and that's been it. His last match was back in like October against Randy Orton. It was a loss.
Well, do you count the WWE title match he got at WrestleMania last year? I mean, I know that wasn't a part of the show, but that was really after the camera stopped rolling. So
that was more of a let's just give the fans a little something. Or wait, last year that was the taped crap. That was just more of a let's see if you're still in shape kind of thing. They weren't gonna do nothing with Big Show. We knew that. So
yeah.
but yeah, I don't know if y'all watched the pre-show. I didn't.
I did not watch it.
Elimination Chamber, yes.
Yeah.
I watched it start to finish, although toward the end, the WWE Network does what it's been doing for whatever reason, freezing and crashing toward the end. And fortunately for me,
is that your interwebs?
I jumped on Twitter.
Yeah, mine works. Mine worked just fine. I saw it from beginning to end from the main, the main show. I didn't watch the pre-show, and kind of glad I didn't, based on what I went back and saw. It was the whole show was somewhat confusing, almost nauseating. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. It was obvious. But yeah, the ending. We'll touch that when we get there. But the ending was.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can just go ahead and go to the main card then, since we didn't really pay much attention to the pre-show.
The main card
started. Yeah, I mean, the pre-show was not bad. It was interesting to say the least, for the simple fact that Keith Lee was removed from the triple threat match. And of course, we know how kayfabe's going to play it. He's going to play it due to injury. Oh, he hurt himself with Bobby Lashley leading up to it. But that wasn't the case. Something about NXT call-ups and Vince not believing in him.
This one isn't an NXT thing. This is him and his new fiance are recovering from COVID.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah.
That's
so
that is.
It was nice to see John Morrison get a shot at a singles title again that he's never held. Ali, Retribution. Retribution. What to say about them? Are they ever going to be taken seriously? Ever?
It seems
Probably
like a
not.
long.
I don't think they are at this point.
It might be a long-term booking thing with them, so we just have to see. I mean, they are showing that they're investing in long-term stuff for the first time ever. So who knows? But yeah, I agree. I don't take them seriously right now. I mean, that's sad, but no, I don't believe in anything they do.
Yeah.
I liked Ali better when he was the hacker. He was a hacker. Yeah, the hacker.
That's like the best part for me. After that, it was kind of hard to take them seriously. And just like the beginning when they first showed up, there was that potential there. But they didn't really pull the trigger at the right time.
Yeah.
So now they're not really being taken seriously.
But yeah, John Morrison won that match to get I think it became a triple threat later on in the evening. We'll cover that. But the main card started with the SmackDown Chamber match.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Bryan and Cesaro were the first two in the ring. Baron Corbin was third. His chamber opened first. Sami Zayn came in after that, followed by Kevin Owens, and Jimmy Uso was, or is it Jay?
It's Jay.
One of the Uso boys. He was the last one in. And when Baron Corbin hit the ring, he came out like a ball of fire and dominated for a while. Sami Zayn played the perfect chicken heel. I'm gonna try to team up with you. I'm gonna run away from you. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. But I mean, he made it work.
Okay.
And then when Kevin Owens came out, he came out like he had a vendetta. He was out to hurt everybody. That wasn't until Jay hit the ring. When Jay hit the ring, everything kind of it slowed down a little bit. They had a few good spots, spots here and there. It's the Elimination Chamber. They always do this. Oh, just enough to keep your attention kind of spots. And then, Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin were eliminated, leaving Daniel Bryan and Cesaro. Daniel Bryan's been making sure Cesaro gets pushed before he leaves. Jey Uso and Kevin Owens were the final four. Long story short, Daniel Bryan won the chamber match.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he immediately got his head taken off by Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Immediately. Was it worth
There was no breather or anything. It was like, I'm the champ, but I'm cashing in my money in the bank. Wait.
That's what it felt like. The way you described it was perfect. The way you described it. And I was like, were they gonna wait at least to the end of the night or close to the end of the night? Like, no, it was like right after.
Roman didn't get that man 30 seconds. The amount of time Daniel Bryan had to breathe was Roman Reigns' pyro. I was like, oh, man. Oh, he's serious. Oh, okay. Roman hit the ring. He got caught in a label lock, an initial spear, hurt his way out of it, brutalized him like savage forearms to the face. It was kind of rough to watch. Put him down after that, and then the first kind of predicted shot happened. Edge came out, called his WrestleMania shot. It's the hug versus the running spear, WrestleMania. Woo! Sorry, Edge. I kind of knew
that was going to happen. That was going to be the obvious route that they were going to take with Edge.
Yeah, and based on the way Edge was on Raw and on NXT, he didn't have much camera time. I was like, yeah, he's challenging Reigns. He's challenging Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
He challenged Reigns. he did the prototypical I'm gonna point at the WrestleMania sign, and for some reason his point has fireworks in it or something. Like he pointed at the sign and pyro went off. I'm like, what the hell?
That's supposed to happen. That's supposed to happen at the Rumble.
I'm like, he just pointed at the sign. It wasn't like he won the match. It's just, whatever. Whatever. Vince is like, we made some money this year. Let's throw it all at the pyro that everybody said they missed. No, how about you pay the wrestlers so they don't leave?
True.
Just saying. Yeah, so that was the first match, and the Edge running in after Daniel Bryan got ran in on
Squash.
Edge. Yeah. Daniel Bryan did all that work, won the chamber match, and then got squashed within like 3 minutes. It was just like, geez. Damn,
that was embarrassing.
Yeah.
I felt embarrassed for him.
But they did. I'll give SmackDown advantage over Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
And booking and storytelling for the chamber match.
I will admit, though, the story, even though it was brief, the story that was told in the ring with Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns was pretty masterful. It's the story that should have been told with Roman Reigns years ago, because Vince loves waiting way too long before he pulls the trigger on something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But yeah, if this was the Roman when they first hit the scene, Roman would be like universally loved. But because they tried to make him the suffering succotash Looney Tunes lines, Roman Reigns, it didn't work. I mean, it worked. Poor Roman. At least he took that damn body armor thing, chest plate thing off.
Thank God. That was. I hated that ring attire.
What's this vest gonna do for you? Like, you're spearing people. Doesn't that actually hurt?
It kind of like constricts his body a little bit, like the way he wore it.
Yeah, that's what I felt. But yeah, that was the first match. That was the first, I guess.
Two matches, really.
Yeah, first match and a half.
Match and a half.
It was about 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
This pay-per-view was surprisingly fast. Once it started, the gas got hit and they stayed on it. Because the second match started and it was like, oh, they pulled up the chamber. Oh, wow, they're starting the next match. No breather. Cool. Glad I didn't go get some water. Second match was Bobby Lashley versus John Morrison, who won his shot at this.
The pre-shows.
Pre-show.
And Riddle.
And Riddle.
I forgot. Oh, Matt Riddle. Yeah. And it was supposed to be originally Bobby Lashley and Matt Riddle, but as we've said, John
and
Morrison
Keith
won
Lee
his,
as well.
Keith Lee. That's right. It was supposed to be a triple threat, but they replaced Keith Lee, who is recovering from COVID. Get better soon, big guy. And his fiance Mia Yim. Congratulations on that, by the way, both of you. They're recovering from COVID, so Morrison won his shot at the title. They just swapped him in. And according to WWE, who has said it ad nauseum, it's the only title John Morrison hasn't won in the WWE, the United States title.
And that's a fact.
Yeah.
He's never even challenged for the WWE title, so he's got a long way to go.
I just got tired of hearing them say it. They said it like 14 times. Like,
it's like we got the point.
It's like, okay, we get it. He's close to winning the title he's never won before. Like, really? Can you?
Who cares?
Yeah. So the match started the way the match should have started. Bobby Lashley, Bobby Lashley, just
dominating, merciless.
Yeah, sweet, merciful God, the Bobby Lashley that was in TNA showed up. He just was tossing people around, beating people up, didn't give a damn. Like,
that's the Bobby I want to see.
I thought he was going to hit MVP in off at one time too. I was like, that MVP tried to calm him down. Bobby looked at him like, "Shut up." I was like, "Oh, okay."
That's the aggression. I want beat down clan Bobby Lashley, TNA Bobby Lashley. That's what I want.
Yeah, that's the answer to your problems. Hey, Bobby, what's the solution? Hit it. Okay, never mind. Fine. That works. Okay, that's the answer. Hit it. Okay, sure. Punch it. Punch the face. And that's what he did. He punched everything and everybody into the face until it broke down, and somehow Bobby was out the ring for a second. So it became Riddle and John Morrison, which became a flippy dippy show, the floating bro, a bunch of near falls, and then next thing you know, I blinked and somehow Matt Riddle's the US champion.
And I gotta give Matt Riddle and John Morrison credit for ring chemistry. They are
they have decent chemistry.
pretty good.
Yeah, has some good
chemistry. I will say it took a crutch that MVP had that was taken by John Morrison, which somehow ended in the hands of Matt Riddle, who hit them both and then pinned Morrison and got the title. So that, of course, because Lashley wasn't involved in the actual fall, keeps him strong. And boy, did he show it on Monday.
Oh, yes. Speaking of Monday, let's go with some Monday on that one. I mean,
we have to
Bobby
at this point.
coming in, Mr. Clean. And
yeah, that suit was pink, 3-piece. He worked it.
Clean. And the moment of the chamber, actually, I gotta give him credit. The Miz stealing it one more time, becoming the WWE champion. And
10 years in the making, by the way. 10 years in the making.
Yeah.
And here's the funny part about that.
Well, there it is, main event, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't no need to. Yeah. Oh,
do y'all remember Miz Girl from when Miz won the title 10 years ago, beating Randy Orton?
Yeah, the angry girl.
Her name is Kayla. Kayla or Kaylee or something like that.
It's Kaylee.
Yes, the angry Miz Girl. She actually tweeted out congratulations to the Miz, saying that he actually deserves it. So
I don't know about all that one. Now. I don't know about that one. That just this booking sounds just feels.
Explain.
Like
you don't think he deserves it?
Nah, this one feels like a WWE just didn't know what to do. It felt like they panicked and it was like, okay, we're gonna take the title off of Drew so he can win it back in front of fans. What do we do?
I mean, it was either cash in from what I've read online and some other deals on Instagram and Twitter. It was and through other people, it was either cash in now because you ain't gonna do it at Fastlane. That would be stupid. And they didn't want him to cash in at WrestleMania and have that moment that Seth Rollins got a few years back.
Well, based on the situation that they put themselves in, then was the only time that he could cash in. But the fact that they even went this route is kind of foul due to the fact that Miz actually cashed in before and lost it, and they gave him the damn briefcase back.
Well, he didn't officially cash it in. It was John Morrison that did it.
I think he did cash it in the first go round.
It don't matter. The bell rung. There was a 3 count, and he lost.
True, but in WWE fashion, there's always Act 2.
That was a Vince McMahon.
That sounds like more like a loophole to me than a second act.
Vince was right, because any other wrestler, if their manager or tag team partner or associate does something for them, the decision stands. But because it's the Miz, let's give him back the briefcase.
But you know who really, really is better about this whole storyline with the briefcase? Unfortunately, it's Otis. I knew they weren't gonna let him do it, but they weren't gonna let it.
That's because Vince soured on Otis very quickly, and it wasn't even Otis's fault.
Yeah, Otis lost his hype. Otis lost his hype after that storyline with Mandy Rose ended.
Yeah, and I knew Otis and Mandy Rose was doomed when they let go of the writer of the storyline back in the summer last year when they did the massive layoffs. She was one of the people let go, and I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh
yeah,
no.
when your one road dog is gone, the person who writing your storyline get let go. Yeah, what? Come on, now,
And then he
WWE
lost his
creative
tag
is
team partner
bad.
too. Like,
No,
Yeah.
better yet, you got an established tag team. Let's break it up. Put y'all on opposite shows to put y'all back in tag teams.
logic. WWE
Right.
logic.
And on top of that, it's a heel tag team now. Apparently, Otis decided enough was enough of being mocked. I kind of do like him being with Chad Gable. And
He was better. He was better with Tucky. They could have just turned
Yeah.
they could have turned Heavy Machinery heel. That would have been easy. That could have been easy money.
Mhm.
On one of them times when him and Mandy were all lovey-dovey, when everybody knows that Mandy wouldn't even ever talk to Otis in real life.
we all know that. Yeah, unfortunately, that's life.
He could have spun it, or Tucker could have spun it, like they were trying to play him, and it could have got the girls in the spotlight, and then they screwed the girls because they broke up that tag team too. To do the same thing, and now we're Sonya's and like the acting GM of SmackDown, and Mandy's in purgatory with Dana Brooke on Raw.
Yeah,
Ouch.
and staying in the tag team women's division title picture in the
Speaking of which,
process.
they got squashed on Monday by
Ravage and Lana and Naomi.
Yes.
Speaking of which,
Naomi did all the work. Welcome back, Naomi, by the way. Naomi did all the work. The match was like 2 minutes long. I was staring at my screen. I got a message on my phone, looked down, looked up, and the match was over. I was like, what?
Yeah, you had to rewind everything. Like, what?
I was like, good job, AT&T, with my DVR. That's fire. Nothing of note happened. Like, I don't even understand the finish. Like, Naomi's not using her finisher anymore. So that was it was like a double team. It was like a double team drop kick or something. I can't remember what they did. It was one double team move, and that was the match. Like one.
Yeah, I looked at that match too fast. I actually watched it on YouTube, and I feel like it was like 30 seconds.
Right. I've literally watched wrestlers take 8 double team moves in a row and get up at 1.5. Yet one double team match ends a match.
WWE logic.
I know Mandy and Dana ain't the best, but they both have been around the block a little bit. Come on, Never mind. We can move on to the next part of this, the next pay-per-view on that one. Oh, the women's tag.
This is the women's tag team title match.
Oh, yeah.
No, actually, no.
They did it. They did a nice little promo reminding us that WrestleMania was 48 days away. That was on Sunday, it's Wednesday now. So it's 45 days away. Just a reminder, 45 days away, and it will be on Peacock, not WWE Network if you're in America, on Peacock. Don't ask. I don't know. If you have a network subscription, you already have a Peacock account somehow, some way. They're gonna make it work.
Well, actually, no. Actually, you don't. I actually had to create a Peacock account.
They haven't transitioned it yet. It will be done in a couple of weeks. There's an FAQ on the website.
Oh well, actually,
so there has to be an official transition. Oh, okay. Now that makes sense because I actually made it.
WWE and Peacock are working together. They're going to transition all paid WWE subscribers to a paid. It's going to be the middle tier Peacock account, the $4.99 one. So you actually get the content for $5 less a month. But if you pay the same $9.99 that you're paying now a month, you not only get WWE Network and Peacock, you get it ad free.
Which I do that. I'm doing that now. Speaking of which,
sounds like Hulu and all the others. So yeah, fun times.
That's not bad. Which,
got to plug in The Rock's new TV show, Young Rock. Absolutely fun. They showed the first episode last Tuesday. I missed last week's episode, but If you all miss those episodes, they are showing them Monday night, literally after Raw, right
That's
before.
usually what they do. Yeah, that's usually what they do.
I bet you it's probably on Hulu as well. I don't have cable TV. I watch streaming, so it's probably on Hulu.
It will be. It will be because it's a NBC and USA both have the same parent company. So yeah, they just like, oh yeah, sure. You missed it on Tuesday. Here, watch again on Monday. And if you, depending on what service you have or don't have, there's this channel called Universal where you can watch all that. You can watch all of WWE's content again on Saturday. Like they play it all.
But that is in Spanish.
Oh, no, they have an English. They have English broadcast too. They have Universal and Universal Spanish. It just depends on which channel you pick.
Oh,
been
sweet.
doing it. Yeah, I've been doing it for years.
Pretty cool.
There we go. Okay.
And they have old movies, but that's the best part of the channel. Don't go there for Vince and them.
Okay. I love how we're talking about everything else except for the pay-per-view.
Yep. So let's get to this women's title tag title match. The challengers were introduced.
Yeah.
No, the champs were introduced first, which kind of threw me for a loop because usually the champs come out last. So I kind of figured they were gonna do a title swap. Surprise, they didn't. Champs came out first. Banks and Belair came out second. They didn't do a tag team entrance. They both had their own entrance. They show good chemistry together as a team.
Mm.
That was until Shayna Baszler hit the ring.
Yeah.
Then she started
Buzzkill.
She started hurting people. And then once they not like hurt like you go sit down, hurting people as in, all right, this match is ours. Then the champ started using quick tags, tag team chemistry. Push came to shove. Somehow Reginald came out for some reason.
Reggie. This
He
time
ruined everything. He ruined the whole match for me.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
I don't like him. I don't like him.
Why Carmella's sommelier or whatever the hell that word is.
He's her butler. He's her butler. That's
her champagne dude. Yeah. I don't know why her champagne guy came out, but he did. Which in turn, then he tried to pass a bottle of champagne to Sasha to hit Nia with.
And she was like, I ain't having that, no.
She protested it, and the ref seen her with the bottle in her hand because she had just picked it up. Like, what in the fuck am I do with this? And the ref was like, no, ma'am, which in turn led her to get
disqualification.
She ended up getting yoked up, and that ended that. The champs retained. Of course, I found that out on Instagram. So,
yeah. So now, obvious question: we have our SmackDown Universal Championship set up for WrestleMania. So Bianca, it's on you. What you gonna do?
Yeah, Bianca hasn't.
Have you made your decision yet, young lady?
It's pretty hard because I feel like it can go various directions. But my gut is telling me she's gonna choose Sasha.
My gut and my logic says she's going to choose Sasha for the same reason that WWE has been doing as of recent, is they keep couples together on the same show. And because Bianca is married to Montez Ford and they are on SmackDown, Sasha is the champ on SmackDown, so it only makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, what's she gonna do? Challenge Asuka and lose and go back to SmackDown? Why? So you gonna take the heat off of her?
Nah.
That would be dumb. So.
And like the women's tag team titles, the only reason I didn't really understand the match is because Shayna and Nia have like two other tag teams that are gunning for the belts right now.
Yeah, one in NXT.
Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, and then Naomi and Lana.
The Dusty Tag Team Classic Champions.
Yes. Team Kick, man. Ooh, Dakota can sell.
Yeah, she can sell her ass off.
Yeah. So after that match, another Peacock advertisement popped up. WWE is really trying to sell Peacock.
They just might make me do it.
They ain't gonna make me do nothing. It's already gonna be content.
I'm seeing the content before the switch is being done, and they have really good content on there.
I peeped it. I peeped it as well.
They got The Office, so I'm good. You know, after the advertisement, when the pay-per-view came back on, which I don't even understand how there's a commercial in a pay-per-view, The Miz was seen backstage talking to MVP, which now in hindsight, we knew what it was about.
Now we understand.
We understood it in hindsight, but at that time, I was like, are they sprinkling seeds of discontent in the Hurt business? Spoiler alert, no, they're not. At all. You'll find out why later. Yeah, which
I mean, even when I saw that segment though, like I kind of knew what was gonna pop off. Especially when you saw Bobby Lashley's aggression.
Yeah, my gut told me what was going to happen, but my brain was like, please don't let that happen. Please don't.
Yeah. So I really feel like it's being like a setup, like push Bobby.
And then immediately after we seen those two talking, the Raw Chamber happened. Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton starting the match. Sheamus, Kofi, AJ and Drew were in pods. Sheamus was last, of course, because he won the right to be last. I don't know what it is about Elimination Chambers. Don't come out last. You always lose. Always. Like,
I wouldn't say always, but most of the time, yeah.
But
man, that particular chamber, I found that they did a stat on the total number of chamber appearances, chamber eliminations, and total championships between all 6 competitors. And I was astonished at the numbers.
Can you remind me of those numbers?
They were all former world champions. I do know that much.
Yes. The numbers were 22 total world titles combined between the 6 of them. Mm-hmm. 17 Elimination Chamber eliminations. And 16 combined elimination appearances.
Orton has most of those too. Yeah, it's the Randy Orton show. Speaking of which, ironically, for those of us who know a little bit about WWE history, Kofi Kingston is the person who eliminated Randy Orton out the chamber.
Yes.
Let that sink in for a second.
Yeah, I saw they were trash talking quite a bit when that chamber match started. They were trash talking quite a bit. Like
them storylines will never not be intertwined. The rest of us know. But of course, Kofi eliminating Randy Orton set Randy Orton completely off the deep end. He RKO'd everybody who moved. That was Kofi and Jeff Hardy, which in turn made AJ Styles the man to be released from his pod. So, almost.
Speaking of which, almost, you, sir, deserve a bronze medal, if not a gold medal, for how you just destroyed the pod off its hinges like it was nothing.
He kind of just pulled a piece of plexiglass down, but yeah, I'll give him at least a bronze for that one because he did it. He did it without cutting himself, which was interesting. But it was just like he ripped that thing off, and you just seen the top of it just wobbling. I'm like, they didn't even reinforce it, right? Jesus.
So yes, Almas gets a bronze medal. Silver medalist performance. I have to say it has to be Cesaro.
Silver medal for execution. Silver medal for effort and bronze for execution. Because almost like he scared himself there for a second. He was like, what do I do? I'm gonna throw it. Now what do I do? How about help AJ out the pod? Oh yeah, let me grab him. You big. And like they didn't even say, okay, AJ's in the match. He just went in the door while Randy was going out. I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. I'm gonna try a pinfall here. Nope. Try a pinfall here. Nope. Try a pinfall here. Nope. That continues.
I cannot.
Well, okay, WWE, y'all, yeah. You already said this is off the rails. Might as well go all the way, right?
True.
So after that, we got to Sheamus showing his complete entire self. Drew McIntyre finally came out the pod and showed his complete entire ass. They eliminated the rest of the field. By the way, Sheamus and Drew cleaned house. AJ Styles eliminated Sheamus, which threw me for a loop because I was like, wow.
I thought Sheamus and Drew were going to be the last two in there.
Right. Sheamus had Drew down for the count. I'm like, okay, this is about to get good. AJ comes out with a phenomenal forearm, and there goes Sheamus. I'm like,
we might get a new champ. Who knew?
Right. But that's when I knew. I was like, they let him to. Okay, Drew, let me guess. Drew's going to retain, right? Yes. Drew retained. He caught AJ with one of the greatest claymores I've ever seen. Caught him mid-jump.
And I was talking to somebody on the phone when that happened, and I said,
did you yelp in somebody's ear? You yelped in somebody's
I was like,
ear.
you know what? Now I see exactly what finishers can be done in midair, out of nowhere, and they look clean. Spear, super kick, RKO, and now we can add KO punch, and now we can add the Claymore. Some moves that can be done out of midair, and you get caught clean.
Yep, caught him clean, pinned him 1, 2, 3, and Drew retains, and still, and then the ring. Once
comes the
came
Miz.
in pissed off. I just lost my United States title.
Bobby Lashley.
Lashley stormed that ring and he brutalized. And I repeat, brutalized.
Kicked his ass.
Yeah. The chamber was going up and Bobby was like, "Yeah, you could have left it down. I'm having fun." Drew couldn't go nowhere. He did nothing but take a butt whooping. And the next thing you know, here comes Miz. I think his music hit. I can't remember. Anywho, he came down and he tried his normal DDT where he kicks you in the knee and then he DDTs you. He tried to kick out DDT. Drew kicked out at 2. So Miz picked him up. One skull crushing finale later. 1, 2, 3. We got a new WWE champion in Miz. And the show and the pay-per-view went off the air. And overall, I gave it a 7. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it could have been better. Out of 10.
I'm like a little lower, 6. There were some things I was a bit disappointed in.
Yeah, the women's title match kind of soured me. Like, they had great action until Reginald got involved.
Reginald won the whole thing for me.
Like, I kind of understood they were trying to use Reginald based on how they were telling the story in SmackDown, but why would you do that? Like, why doesn't it have something to do with Carmella? Like, it could be a long-term swerve plan in action or something.
True. Maybe the berating of Carmella gets Reggie a little bit pissed off.
Or better yet,
that's enough.
Or better yet, the berating of Carmella is not actual berating, but more of it's just a facade. And down the line, Carmella and Sasha can team up and be this heel team.
Ooh, you mean you don't think?
I didn't think of it like that.
I mean, it could if they do the storyline properly, it could. But this is WWE we're talking about, so we don't know. Anywho, Reggie screwed it up for me. Just inserting John Morrison in the match didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And the yelling about it 14 million times, I don't care if John Morrison didn't win the United States title. He signed a long-term deal. He's got plenty of time. He'll get it. It's Matt Riddle.
And he's got his wife now there, Taya Valkyrie, so they'll be good.
Right.
She'll be on NXT.
You took Matt Riddle's first name. That usually means they're going to do bad things to that person. Every person you've taken their name, a part of their name, they always end up getting screwed over.
I mean, I'm not really. The only thing I can say is he's a surfer-looking dude, cowabunga, yada yada yada. But I mean,
all right, Mikey.
No, he didn't just say that.
Yeah, I
Tell
went
me you
there.
didn't just say that.
Yeah, I went there.
Ouch.
I mean, let's be real.
Wow.
I didn't even know who Matt Riddle was outside of WWE until they announced his signing at an NXT takeover. Like he was the hottest thing since sliced bread.
I follow him since UFC, and he was very controversial while he was there.
Yeah,
Dana White
in
used to
UFC
rip
he
into
can
him really
actually go.
bad.
I guess I'd have to look at some UFC highlights of this brother because
Yeah, he can actually go. He can actually go.
He can go. He's really good.
The reason I'm saying it like this, is because of the comparison he's been given. And I think that's a bit of a stretch.
Who?
Vince says he sees a bit of Shawn Michaels in him.
I do too, actually.
I do too.
Yeah. If you watch his storytelling in the ring, his ability to bump, and the fact to where he is not afraid to put his body on the line for anything.
Okay. Minus because Shawn wasn't doing all the
Shawn can't do the flippy dippies like Matt can.
That's why I was going to go. Yeah,
but at the same time, but at the same time, if you watch Matt Riddle when he throws an actual kick, he can take a head off. Sometimes he forgets he's in the ring. He's just like, "Oh yeah, kick." You sure? I mean, I've been doing this for a while. Ooh, did you just Brock Lesnar again? Oh Lord, yeah. But his beef with Goldberg, I thought it was going to get him fired. I thought he was going to get himself fired.
I thought it was going to give him some major heat.
Yeah. And speaking of Brock, somebody is calling him out for a match, if not 2 matches. And I would love to see both of them happen. One next year and possibly one down the road in AEW, maybe. Bobby Lashley wants Brock Lesnar in a match.
I don't think Brock wants to come back to WWE, and I don't see him going to AEW because I don't think Cody wants to work with him.
No, not Cody. Cody isn't the one who wants a match with him or probably work with him. It's Kenny Omega.
It might be it.
Kenny said it himself. He will not. He probably wouldn't want to fight Brock in the ring by himself.
Yeah,
no, he's gonna need some dogs with him.
Yeah,
he said, "I'm gonna need my friends to help me fight Brock."
Right.
That's exactly what he said.
The way I feel about it, if it's gonna be done, it's gonna be done in like a New Japan type setting, where they have they have more relaxed, environment where they can
drug related.
No, not the drug related, just the overall action, the way Japanese wrestling is, because some of the things Brock does is still UFC based. That will go over better in New Japan than it would in AEW because they still got sponsors they have to deal with.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. What did you give the show, Derrick?
I'm gonna do this. Some of it was great. Some of it, like we all know, was kind of fast.
Yeah.
So
Bobby Lashley stood out. One of the people that stood out to me.
Drew McIntyre did as well for me. Drew did his job. He sold getting beat down very well. And Roman is really winning me back over. Not like I ever left Roman Reigns' team, but he's winning me back over with his I'm gonna pick my moment and fight when I want.
Yeah, so for me, the chamber match, both chamber matches get the happy face of a 10. Yes. And ending as well. They get a 10. Whereas the other matches get a 4. Very bad. Well, very mixed telling in where they were going to go with it. And also the omission of the World Women's Championship from the pay-per-view and not having Asuka have somebody to work with. So basically, they setting up Fastlane and WrestleMania with Asuka, possibly working with Charlotte again.
That's what they've been. That's what that's what they were supposed to be shooting at. Was this storyline was supposed to unfold with Asuka and Charlotte ended up, coming at odds.
Having the tag team titles.
And no, they were going to come at odds and go for Asuka's title probably at WrestleMania. And this time, I think Asuka was supposed to go over. From last I heard, some
as heel or face.
She's still technically a face, but she's also kind of a heel. Asuka's a tweener. Asuka does what Asuka wants to do.
Yes, that's so true.
So, but that's what was supposed to happen. But the whole thing with what is her name?
Lacey Evans.
Yes, she's actually pregnant in real life.
Oh, congratulations to her. We kind of do miss the fact that now that we know Ric Flair is not the father. Sorry, Maury, we won't accuse you, dog, but
but the thing is when something like that happens, you see how intertwined one storyline is with the actions of another. Where Lacey got pregnant, but now that derails Asuka and Charlotte because the Ric Flair and Lacey aspect of the storyline was what was going to tear Asuka and Charlotte apart.
Everything apart.
So now,
and I can tell she's selling it well, or selling the storyline well with meaning Charlotte.
That's her damn daddy. Of course she gonna sell it well.
Hey, like it's making me question and wonder if they ever would put a real life facility together for the Hall of Fame. Can we go see and find out where Space Mountain is?
I don't think I want to know. I don't want to know where that is.
Space Mountain is an actual roller coaster, and I think it's like Disney World or something. It's Epcot or something.
I know that, but I know that's not what he means. So that's what I'm saying.
That's not what I mean. No,
sir. If Space Mountain is a ride for the women, why would you want to go where Space Mountain is?
Exactly.
No, I'm being sarcastic when I say that. I'm just like, you know what?
Oh, okay.
You've been talking about this for so long.
All right, then.
This place?
Wow.
This is Euphoria?
I guess we're gonna have to go ahead and wrap this one on up then. He's trying to tear old Space Mountain down. Okay, nasty.
I didn't know that, Derrick. You want to go to Space Mountain, Derrick?
All I'm saying is he's been talking about this for 40 years. All these women have been saying, "Oh, Space Mountain's this and that." Like, okay, sheesh. But you telling me there's a youthful thing to that bad boy, ain't she?
Oh my god!
But he proud of old Space Mountain. He been limousine riding, jet flying, just stealing,
dealing. Son of a gun.
Yeah, he's been doing it for forever. So I'd be proud of my old Space Mountain too if I've been doing it that long. I'm always talking about it. Hey, I know I'm 84, but Space Mountain. Shoot. I'm still a limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, well, son of a gun. So yeah, you're gonna hit by Space Mountain.
Hey, I didn't mean to veer the show left, but I mean, I didn't know where that was gonna go with mentioning that. But hey,
sure you didn't. Anyway, so you got two 10 matches and a bunch of 4s. So
yes.
What does that round down to? What's your final?
So I guess we'll give it. Look, I guess we'll give it a 6.
Okay, so
overall.
Okay.
So yeah, we're between the 3 of us is 2 6s and a 7, so 6 1/4.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, WWE, you got to do better. You got 1 month to change our minds before we have to switch from WWE Network to Peacock in the United States only. For the rest of the world, y'all get to keep WWE Network.
So I'm really interested to see what's going to happen at Fastlane now, because that's March 21st, and that's not too long from now.
No, it's not about 3 weeks.
They're going to push their best they're gonna put their best foot forward because it'll be the first pay-per-view on
Peacock.
Peacock. Yes.
Okay,
It will
so
be.
I'm
It will be
expecting
the
to see
last.
better.
It would be the last one on WWE Network for the US and the first one on Peacock for the US. They're going to be simulcast first and last time. So I expect better. Of course, it's the road to WrestleMania, so they got to figure out what they're going. I expect to see Bobby Lashley and The Miz blow off. I expect Drew to get his name back out there in the picture. We're probably going to see The Fiend soon because Randy Orton's been going through weirdness on Raw, like spitting up black stuff.
Oh yeah.
So,
And
whatever.
Alexis being in his head.
Papa Shango making his appearance through Randy Orton. Lord have mercy.
Oh yeah, and something about a pentagram or
Pentagon,
It's a pentagram.
Yeah, that. So Raw been pushing the envelope. So yeah, I expect some
They're getting
craziness.
into some dark stuff. You can see they're trying to.
I'm okay with dark stuff. I mean, hey, if pushing the envelope helps these stories and this WWE recenter, so be it. And for AEW Dark, what's Dark? What's it? Dark 2.4.
AEW Dark. I don't know the new show coming on Mondays, and we got Dynamite on Wednesday. So I mean,
Hold
we're
on,
gonna
I'll tell you.
get.
It's gonna
Yeah, so
be.
we got 4 days of wrestling, though. If you
It's
really
gonna be
think
called,
about it,
the new
It's
show is going to be called
intense.
AEW Dark Elevation,
Ever-
and it's going to be on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern on their YouTube channel.
So we got a
YouTube?
lot of wrestling. If you're a real wrestling fan, this is definitely the time to be.
Mondays on AEW's YouTube channel at 7 p.m. Eastern, which means it's an hour before Raw, which means it will probably end 2 hours before Raw as well, because they probably do an hour, 2 hours tops. Raw, take note, 3 hours is too much.
Yeah, they were good at 2 hours.
I can't do 3 hours. Y'all killing us.
That's too much for me. They need to. I feel like they really need to go back to 2 hours at this point.
They do, but they got that stupid contract that Vince signed to try to appease the USA Network to make them money. So whatever. But yeah, they did that. NXT tonight, AEW tonight. Y'all enjoy your week of wrestling. I'm going. Did y'all
Also, I forgot to mention. Also, we did lose somebody in the wrestling community a few weeks ago, which was Butch Reed. For those who don't remember Butch Reed, he's better known as a tag team with Doom with Ron Simmons and Teddy Long. So definitely want to say that before we sign off.
Yeah.
And he rest in power.
Exactly.
All right. So I think we're good to go with this review. Really interested to see what's going to happen, especially with a lot of backstage developments with the Peacock deal, and now we're on the road to WrestleMania. I just really hope they give us a little something for Fastlane.
Hey, well, if we do a WrestleMania review, we get it. It'll be nice to get to do it twice.
Exactly. So I think we can sign off on that point. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you
Later.
all. Peace.
Peace.